Good morning and welcome to Sunrise with Dr. Surajit Khanna, a news bite for anyone ages 10 to 24. It's brought to you by KhannaForKids.com. That's KhannaForKids.com, KHANNA. It's a good morning message and a short snippet of the news just for today's youth. And we are on the air a little bit after 9 o'clock every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Join us on Facebook.com/Khanna4Kids to see our wonderful faces, to see Dr. Khanna. That's Facebook.com/Khanna4Kids. And you can view all of our past Sunrise videos at SunRISEupdate.com. SunRISEupdate.com. Dr. Surajit Khanna is an attorney, a child safety advocate, and a servant of the underserved. He's championed a nonprofit Voice of the Kids organization. He launched his post-incarcerated Juvenile Justice Reformation Act initiative we call the Returning Youth Initiative. Dr. Khanna saw that the Reformation Act did not adequately care for ex-offenders when they were released, and he decided he would address this with his returningyouth.com initiative, where we are returning post-incarcerated young adults back to a productive life by providing them housing, training, along with the required medical and psychological assistance they need to secure a job, to build a career, and to greatly improve their lives. Welcome to Sunrise. Good morning, Dr. Khanna.
Good morning, Gary. Good morning, the viewers, those who are viewing today. This wonderful April 12th, 2021, on Monday morning. There's sunshine here in my state. Well, as Gary said, we are going to do the news bite. So I'm going to concentrate on two things today for the young adults. Also, those who are going to listen to this, even older people, some of the things get lost, and Sunrise tries to give you the news so that you can do more research on it. Well, today is the day in 1966. Mr. Emmett Ashford, he is the first Black Major League umpire for baseball. He was a native of Los Angeles, and also he was an ex-postal worker. Why is he famous? Not only because he's the first Black umpire, but also he was very animated umpire. So let's remember him that on this day, he became the first Black Major League umpire. Well, that's the fun side of the game. But why this day needs to be remembered by everybody? Whatever is going on since the pandemic, we have seen a lot of racism, a lot of fighting, a lot of hatred has been going on. Well, you know what? This day in 1861, the Civil War began. It began at Fort Sumter. You know where the Fort Sumter is? It is in Charleston, South Carolina. Well, 1861, I was not born, but I'm sure Gary was born during that time. So he witnessed the Civil War that started.
I remember it like it was yesterday, Dr. Khanna.
I know. So audience, what I would like to do, because this is a very important topic, very important news that I want everybody to understand, we would like to have an open discussion between Gary and myself on this particular topic, and we will share some of the purpose of the Civil War, who started the Civil War, why it started, and how it started. Well, this was started because of uncompromising differences between the free and the slave states. Gary, do you know where the slave states, which has been called as Confederate States of America? Do you know them?
Yes, I do.
Could you list them up?
Not all of them, but I know it's every southern state south of Maryland, and including everything Virginia and South, and everything. Virginia was actually split into two. It was one state, but half of the state was pro-slavery, half of the state was anti-slavery. So it now became Western Virginia versus just Virginia. Everything north became the Union. Everything south became the Confederacy.
Excellent. You brought it up. Actually, there were 11 states.
Thank you.
Those 11 states that were you just brought it up the word union, okay? And those 11 states are where South Carolina, Mississippi, Florida, Alabama, Georgia, Louisiana, Texas, Virginia, Arkansas, Tennessee, and North Carolina. And this is all the Civil War. This event that triggered the war came at Fort Sumter in Charleston Bay on this particular day, that is April 12, 1861. Well, the American Civil War was fought between the United States of America and the Confederate States of America, which is a collection of 11 southern states, which I just listed. And this happened this conflict started in 1860, and finally the war started in 1861. Gary, do you remember which president started this formally?
Well, I know that it was President Lincoln who was in office at that time.
Correct. Correct. You are absolutely correct. And he was the instrumental in the passage, because the 13th Amendment says that the slavery was unconstitutional. So he's the one who brought this up and broke it and started this.
The Emancipation Proclamation he issued, yes.
Correct. And unfortunately, because of this war, roughly 1,264,000 American soldiers died in this war. 620,000 in the Civil War and 644,000 in other conflicts. So this is like, I wanted to emphasize that, my dear young adults, those who are listening to this and will be listening to this, remember, this Civil War was not a favorable war, but it did start the end of the slavery. At least it started. I'm not saying that it ended, but it started. Somebody took the courage to start it, and that I admire him. President Lincoln started it. Okay, he saw that one of the amendment of the Constitution is being unconstitutional. That is the 13th Amendment. So remember this: the 13th Amendment talks about on slavery. The slavery needs to be stopped. So that never happened. So he started this passage. And Gary, thank you for chiming in on this, because this is matter what in 2021 we got to stop it. We got to see that all this hatred, all the racism and everything stops. You're talking about slavery. In the prison, actually, we still see that slavery is done in the prison.
Yes.
Okay, so we need to stop that. This post-incarcerated initiative that we all started also will lead to end those things. So thank you very much, Gary, for this wonderful event. And
yes, if I could just say one thing, Dr. Khanna, people don't understand why the Civil War happened. It was really simple. The economic development in the North was far ahead of the development in the South. The South felt the only way that they could catch up was with slavery. The North, from a moral point of view, did not agree with it. The South, back then, we don't understand. The U.S. government was not as centralized then as it is now. The states felt they had their own rights. So regardless of what the North felt, they didn't care what the issue was. They felt that the North did not have the right to tell the South what to do, even though what they were doing wasn't right, slavery. And that's the bottom line between the two issues of how this war came about.
Correct. Thank you for clarifying that. especially to the young adults, those who are listening to it and will be listening, that why this civil war started, and that's a very good point. So, Gary, it is up to you now. End this sunrise with a fun thing which you normally are good at.
Well, I tell you, there's always something fun. Every day is fun. Today is National Big Win Day. Can you believe that? National Big Win Day. And you know what? The reason today was called National Big Win Day was because in the most fastest wind, okay, on this afternoon in 1934, Mount Washington Observatory obs, Observatory recorded a wind, and this is in New Hampshire. Guess how fast, Dr. Khanna? 231 miles per hour, the fastest
Wow.
recorded in the world. So today is
Wow.
National Wind Day. We should be thankful for the wind. I guess it brings it brings a lot of interesting things. I never want to be 231 miles an hour wind. Actually, they say anything over 100 to 120 could actually lift a human being off the ground. So 230 miles, you could probably take you to the next mountain.
Well,
So
I think if we have that wind today, then a lot of airlines will go out of business because everybody will be flying wherever they want to fly today. You know, so I think let's have fun. Let's see if there is a wind outside. Let's go and witness that. But unfortunately, if it will be 231, we can be landing in somewhere else, right?
yes, well,
Uh,
don't
Thank you.
listen. I'm not filled with a lot of hot wind, and neither are you. So we enjoy this. Please join us every Monday, Wednesday, Friday after 9 o'clock. And please remember us at 3 o'clock on Fridays. We are getting a lot of very exciting guests on our radio show that goes out to 30 million people. We are on Facebook Live at facebook.com/Khanna4Kids, the number 4 kids. And please, to look at our past Sunrise videos, just go to sunriseupdate.com. Dr. Khanna, it's always a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. God bless.